I'm really scared because I don't know where the bathroom is and my doggy bag is full. So it doesn't really matter because I don't feel good and it's coming. I don't know about you, but that sounds like the scam of the century. So, I had a completely different video idea like that I was gonna do next, but I had something happen that I had to just sit down and tell a story time about because I actually haven't talked a lot about it, but a lot of people had questions because of my last Instagram caption. I think it was like something about like, because it did. So yeah, that's basically what we're talking about. Also, my hair is like a lot shorter. I decided I was just gonna like cut it all off. So my hair is gone, but that has nothing to do with this video. So yeah, let's just start talking about what happened to me. So this past weekend, I decided that I was going to go to a music festival with a couple of my friends, and since I live in Seattle, it was pretty close because it was up in Canada. It was about like 2.5 hours away. The music festival is called Faded in the Park. It's in Surrey, Canada. It's like a little bit close to Vancouver, Canada. And so they had people like Tory Lanez, R.L. Grime, who else did I see? Oh, Lil Yachty, A Boogie, Six Lack or Black, however you guys say it. I don't know. I actually don't know how they say his name, but oh, Louis the Child. So yeah, I wanted to go to this. It's not a very big festival, but it had a pretty decent lineup, and last year I saw a lot of people go that live in Seattle, and I wanted to finally go to Canada and go to this festival. So the story is about me ending up in the hospital, but backstory is just kind of like a little one about our Airbnb. So we booked this Airbnb and it says it fits like 8 people, and we initially had like a lot more people coming, but then a lot of people bailed, so there was only 4 of us, including myself. And so it says it fits 8 people. It's not super expensive. Like, it looked really nice. The reviews were really nice on Airbnb. And so we booked this Airbnb and we get there and like everything, it seems fine, but like it definitely did not fit 8 people like at all. I don't know where the hell you would put 8 people in this Airbnb, but like it said it did. So thankfully there was only 4 of us. We move in all of our stuff and we decide to like go to Vancouver to go get dinner, and then we come back and there are cockroaches. Like, we're in Vancouver, Canada. I didn't think cockroaches, like I don't really hear of a lot of like cockroach issues in like Seattle because it's just like not the weather for them. And like Vancouver's like the same weather as like Seattle, but like there was cockroaches coming out of like the sink at our Airbnb. So I was freaked out. My friends were freaked out because we had like paid this money and the Airbnb like had nice reviews and everything, and like we had to awkwardly text a guy and be like, hey, like you literally have cockroaches coming out of your sink.
Fuck no, baby!
Fix this because I don't like like a rocky start to the weekend. So day 1, super dope, had a great time, got some good food that I will never eat again. So the drinking age in Canada is 19. So yes, I'm 20. I was drinking because I was legal there, but I wasn't drinking heavily, so I just had like 2 beers basically. I feel like the entire time I was even there. Yeah, so we were legal up there, which was kind of fun. So day 2, super fun. I was kind of tired, but having a good time. But like this is where the story gets very like sad a little bit. So we were eating our food on day 2 and I noticed this guy and he seemed very like sick. Like you could just see in his like face and how he was acting, and like we were sitting in the grass and he was like a couple feet away from us, like leaning up against like a bus, and he like had food in his hand and there was nobody with him. That was the part that I was like, okay, something's really wrong. So nobody was with him and people were just like walking by him, and he kept catching my eye because he was like getting more and more out of it. He obviously was on something because it definitely was not drunk. I initially thought he was like just really drunk, but like maybe the more it escalated, the more I was like, okay, he's definitely probably on something. And so I'm sitting there and I'm kind of watching him kind of to see like if anyone like any one of his friends or like somebody that knows him is like nearby, and nobody comes over. He's just getting worse and worse. So he eventually, the food that he's eating, he drops on himself and he like kind of starts slumping down. And that's when I was like, okay, I need to go get help because I don't think this guy's okay. He's obviously like not conscious now and nobody is with him. So I go and I get security, and security's like, okay, I'm off duty, but I'll go get another security guard. So I'm like, okay. So I sit back down and I keep eating my food and I just kind of watch the guy. And then security comes and they take his pulse and then they just completely clear out the area. So we had to get up, and so we were standing there and they start blocking it off with like caution tape, and like multiple people start coming, multiple security guards start coming, police show up, and like we have to stay there because we were the only people that were like that saw him, so we had to like give like a statement. So basically I had to talk to the police and tell them like what happened. It was very like, I was just eating, I saw this dude, nobody was with him, he looked very out of it, and it was starting to scare me because he was getting worse and worse like super quickly. This was over like a span of like a couple minutes. He just went from like looking messed up to like unconscious. So the police officer told me that he had no pulse. So I immediately started breaking down because I didn't know this person, but nobody seemed to care, or nobody really noticed him except for like me and like the people I was with. And the fact, like, I don't even want to know what would happen if like I had just been like, someone will come, like he has friends somewhere, and like he had no pulse. He literally had no pulse. I can't tell you what happened to him. I don't know him. My thoughts, like my prayers go out to him, whoever that was. But they took him away on a stretcher, and the police officer like thanked me, but I freaked out. I had like an absolute like panic attack. And so I just didn't know how to react to that at all. Like I was just having a fine time and this happened. So my anxiety got really, really, really bad, and I smoke like e-cigs. I hate saying that because people ask like when you say like I smoke, they're like, do you smoke weed or like cigs? And I don't do either. So like I smoke like e-cigarettes, and so I have one, and I was very anxious, and so I wanted it, and mine was just completely dead. So, and my friend had lost his, so I had nothing to use, and I was like freaking out, and yeah, you know, if you don't know, don't ever get into it. It's the worst habit I've ever picked up. But I'm like, okay, where the hell, I'm not smoking cigs, but like what am I gonna do? Like I'm freaking out and I really would need some assistance right now. And so we walk around and I'm kind of asking like the people who work there, I'm like, hey, like is anywhere sell like chargers for this, or like can I buy another one? Like anything. So one of the workers told me that there was a booth on like a 19 and over area that was like giving away like these like e-cigs. And so I can say like vape, like e-cig vape, I don't really know what you want to call it. Yeah. So they said, yeah, this like booth over here is giving away these like vape things, you can go over here, blah blah. So we go over to this booth and I sign up. That's literally all you have to do. You just have to like put in this email, and they give you like a kit. It was like a full-on like vape with like juice for it and like a charger, all for free because I gave my email. So I was like, okay, a little sus, but like it was like a booth set up at the festival, so I was like, whatever, like sweet, I won the lottery, thank you, like someone was looking out for me because I really needed this because I was freaking out. And so I take it and I put it all together, and then I started smoking it, and it was really gross. Like it tasted gross, it felt gross, but I wanted it because I was freaking out. So I continued to use it, even though the shit was nasty as and I get like really just like tired and like feel really gross. So I stopped using it because I was like, this is just like not even worth it at this point, like whatever. Like it's getting close to the end of the festival, I'll just go home, I'll charge mine, life will move on, like whatever. So the festival ends, we get back, I'm tired normally, but like I was so tired. Like I felt like I got hit by like a bus. Like I was so tired, and I was like, you know what, it's like a day 2 of a music festival, we've been here for 3 nights now, like I'm probably just really tired, like I should go to bed. So I wash my face and I just like crawl into bed, and like I feel dead, and all of a sudden I get this like really bad feeling. like really, really bad feeling. And I thought it was my anxiety because I had seen what I had seen earlier and it really freaked me out. I'm still kind of freaked out about it. And I thought, okay, it's probably just my anxiety. I don't feel very good. Also, I'm just tired, so like go to bed. And then I just felt awful, like awful. So I run out of bed, I go to the bathroom, and I threw up. And I was like, okay, maybe my anxiety just made me throw up. Like, I'm just like blaming this on like me being like scared about what happened earlier. I'm just not feeling the best, got it out of my system, I'll go back to bed. And so also keep in mind, like I did not drink heavily. I was like completely sober. So, and like you guys, there's no way to prove that, but like I was sober, I was fine. After what happened, I had like really no desire to drink, like, and so I'm like, okay, this is not me vomiting from like alcohol. And the people that I was with were vegetarian and vegan, so I really didn't eat meat the whole like trip I was there because we were all like eating the same thing. And so the thing I ate before was fries. It was poutine, but like we didn't get the cheese on it because it's dairy. And then the gravy was made of like cashews. And that's all I had eaten besides like a sandwich earlier for lunch. And so I was like, okay, I don't think it's food poisoning because I don't know why I would have food poisoning from like fries. So I go back to bed and I'm lying there and I'm like, okay, I still feel like shit. Like I feel like dog and like I'm like, just go to bed and like just sleep this off, like whatever this is, like just sleep it off. So I'm laying there and I'm like, I feel so bad again. So I get up and I run to the bathroom and I vomit again. And I'm like, what is going on? So like, what is going on? So my friends come into the bathroom and they're like,
are you okay?
Because they knew that I like didn't drink a shit ton and they were like, what is going on? And I was like, dude, I don't know. And then I start like profusely shaking. Not like a little, like I was like tremors. Like I literally was shaking so hard and they were like, are you cold? And I didn't really feel cold. And I just was like worried I was gonna throw up again. And yeah, so they bring me a blanket. I'm like on the bathroom floor and I'm afraid I'm gonna vomit again. And my friends are like, okay, we're trying to like figure out what the hell is wrong with me. So they're like, okay, well, you didn't really eat anything weird. We ate all the same stuff and none of us are sick. And you didn't literally drink anything. So we all were just like, it's my anxiety, like it's anxiety, like blah 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 blah, like it's fine. I'll go back to bed and I'll be just fine. So I go back to bed again and I crawl into bed and I'm literally getting worse. And I was like, why am I getting worse if I'm throwing this up? Like this should be going away at this point. Like, haha, very funny, but like it's over, like I'm done throwing up. Like I lay down again and then I get up and I vomit again. And it's not, this is kind of gross, but it's not like little vomits, like it is like full on, like I am violently ill vomiting. And so I get down and I'm like shaking again. Like after every time I throw up, I just start like tremor shaking. And so my friends were like, okay, it's almost like it's like withdrawal shaking. And so they were like, what the, like I was like cold sweating and like shaking profusely. So they were like, you kind of look like you're like withdrawing from something, maybe. But then that brought the idea that like, oh shit, like I did have that like weird vape earlier, but like I already smoke anyway, so it wasn't like my body was not used to it. But it was just really gross and weird that maybe it was too much for some reason and my body freaked out, but I've never had that reaction before. So we were like, I don't know, like, and then they got scared that I possibly was drugged because I did have like 2 drinks. So what if somebody put something in those 1 drink? Like, I don't know. So we were like trying to think of all these ideas and I was getting worse. And so I called my mom and I was like, do I go to the hospital? Because every time I throw up, I don't feel better. Like I feel like I'm getting worse and like I can't stop shaking and I don't want this to get like really bad and then something happen because I am technically in a foreign country and my mom is like hours away. So I decide, yeah, I should go to the hospital. So my friend drives me to the hospital and it's like not that far away, and so we get there and we get in and I'm like the whole way in the car ride trying not to throw up in my car because she was driving my car. We have to literally drive back in this car tomorrow and I don't want to like scrape puke out of my car. And like, so we get there, I realize how dehydrated I feel, like because I didn't really drink a lot of water throughout the day, which was a stupid idea. but also like there was nothing I could do then, and I just felt super dehydrated, and obviously I was throwing up a lot of like fluids and just getting worse, and so I was starting to get kind of like dizzy. And so we get to the hospital and they were like, okay, can I have your health card? And I was like, I'm not a Canadian citizen, but I need help. And so this hospital was in the same city as the music festival, obviously, because we were staying really close to the music festival, that they looked at me and they saw like the festival wristbands and like young girl, and they were like, okay, like she's probably on drugs, or she's probably just drunk, like it's not that big of a deal. And I knew that like I wasn't drunk. I knew I wasn't on drugs unless somebody had drugged me, and like I knew like something was wrong. Like I've been sick before from just like this just felt really bad. Either that or I was losing so much like water that like I felt like I needed to go to the hospital, not like just kind of sit by the toilet for the rest of the night and vomit it out. Like I needed some help. So she just kind of looked at me and was like, she's probably just like a drunk teen. Because I look really young anyway, that she's probably like idiot bitch, like. And they were like, it's gonna be a lot of money. I was like, I don't care. I thought Canadian healthcare was free, but like I don't really care at this point because I just need help. Like, and then I can just feel myself and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna vomit again. And I'm in like this like hospital lobby check-in area. So I'm like, can I have a bag because I'm about to vomit again? And so she like hands me this like little plastic bag thing, and she's like, hold it this way. Like I don't know how to hold a bag. And I like vomit into my bag, and my friend's trying to like answer the questions for me to like check me in and get the process like sped up and stuff, and they're like, no, she has to talk to us. So I vomit in my little doggy bag, and then I come back and I'm like, yes, give them my whole name, everything that they need, and they're like, okay, well, we're gonna go check you in this room, you can go sit in that room. And then some nice nurse lady takes me, and this is when I start to not remember things. So I get into this room and she's asking me more information, like contact information for like my parents, my age, not my age, she had my f***ing birthday, but like all this other stuff, my address, I'm from Washington, like all this stuff, because I was out of the country. And so all this information, I'm like trying to answer them, but like I can just feel myself like I'm losing it, like I'm literally like I'm losing it, like. And so I asked for water because I'm like, I try in my big girl voice, I try to like not vomiting, try to be as adult as possible. I'm like, hi, like, could I please have some water because I'm very dehydrated from how much I'm throwing up, and I did not have much water today. And she looks at me and she goes, yeah, it's policy that we cannot give you water if you're actively throwing up. So I go, I think I'm going to pass out because I have had no water today. Could I please just have some water? Like, if I throw it up again, that's okay because I have my little f***ing doggy bag, so why can't I just have some water? Like, please. And so she's like, no. So I'm like, okay, well, if I die, at least I'm in a hospital. So all of a sudden, I just get this like wave of just like, just f***ing like nasty, disgusting feeling. And I'm like, okay. This is also gross. I don't know which end this one is gonna come out of, and I'm really scared because I don't know where the bathroom is and my doggy bag is full, so it doesn't really matter because I don't feel f***ing good and it's coming. And I'm sitting in this like office room thingy, and so I get up and I'm in tiny pajama shorts, a big sweatshirt, and platform. I'm in platform boots. Because they were just easier to zip on than like my sneakers. So I'm this like little tiny dumbass bitch running down the hospital. I just get up out of the office and just bolt out. And this is when I don't remember anything because I passed out. And I guess my friend told me I just hit the floor, and she like ran over to me, and I woke up and I like was very in and out, and she was like, like I don't remember what she was saying to me, and then she put me in a wheelchair. So now I'm in a wheelchair, and thank the Lord, because I didn't vomit though. Like all of a sudden I just had this like wave of terror. I thought I was gonna vomit or or I don't really know, and then I just passed out, and then I was like fine-ish, not fine, basically unconscious, but like I was in a wheelchair, I remember that, and then she wheels me into somewhere. I don't remember where I was because I just wasn't in the best state. So she wheels me into this other room, and then wheels me into another room, and then they start taking blood. And that's when I start asking for water again. And I'm like, hey, like, can I please have water? I just passed out. Please, like, can I please have water? I really think I'm passing out from how dehydrated I am. Like, and I may vomit again. Like, I get it, but like, please can I have some water? And they're like, no, it's
Policy.
whoever wrote this policy can shove it up their ass because I'm going to pass out again. So then they start to take blood, which just like, I'm not a doctor, but I don't think that's a good idea if somebody just passed out and they're like begging for water that you're gonna like take their blood. So they're taking my blood because after I passed out, apparently the people that were working there was like, oh, she's definitely on drugs. She's definitely like she's definitely on drugs. So they wanted to run my blood to see what drug was in my blood, which was nothing because I had nothing in my body. She started taking blood and I like black out again. I don't remember her like finishing taking my blood. I remember like kind of like pain because I think she took it from the same spot that my like IV was put in, and so I got a good bruise there now. And then my friend, I guess they assigned me a room, but the room was literally like a metal chair, some hospital stuff, and like a like metal bench that like laid down, which was like the hospital bed. Like a metal bench that like laid down was the hospital bed for me. And they didn't lay it down. They put me in the room, they put me in this metal bench, and then they just said a doctor will see you when they can. No time, nothing. So we were like, okay, that's probably gonna be pretty quick then if they're like, we'll see you soon. Like, I don't know, like that's just like, I didn't think it was gonna take that long. I didn't think it was gonna take that long. So I'm sitting in this metal bench, curled up, like literally like fetal position, curled up, just like, I was like, oh my God, like my stomach, I'm so dehydrated, I'm seeing stars, like I'm like conscious at this point, but like stars, blurry. My friend is like, are you fine? I'm like, I'm not fine. I think I'm gonna die of dehydration. Like, obviously I'm alive, but like in that moment, I remember being like, I honestly think that like my body may start shutting down because I know I have no water in me because I didn't drink any water at the festival earlier because I'm a dumb hoe who doesn't drink her water. And then I started vomiting and losing more fluids, and like I thought I was gonna die of dehydration at that point. I don't know if that's even possible because I don't know how long it takes to do that, but like I've never felt so sick for a very long time, like so sick. And so I'm like sitting and I'm kind of just going in and out, and so finally I just begged my friend, I'm like, I know I'm throwing up, can you just go find me water? Like, can you just say it's for yourself? And like, someone go find me water, because they were not gonna give me water at all. So she goes and finds some heated blankets, saved my life, because I was still shaking like profusely. So she goes and finds me some heated blankets, and she finds me a styrofoam cup of water, and she was like, look, like don't chug it because, you know, your stomach is having a little bit of a rough time, that if you may chug it, you may upset it. But I was so dehydrated that I just started guzzling it, and I vomited it all back up. So I'm freaking out because I can't keep down even water, and I can feel how dehydrated I am, but I can't keep it down. So she's like, okay, no more water for a little bit. I'll give you more water later. So I fall asleep. I wake up like an hour later to vomit again, and I try to take more sips of water. Doesn't stay down. So go back to bed. And this is literally a cycle for 6 hours. Like 6 hours. I cannot believe, oh, I literally forgot. So when I was like unconscious, getting my blood drawn, because I'm a US citizen and I don't get free Canadian healthcare, I had to pay. And so they don't make you pay after to even get help. You have to pay there. Like, they won't help you unless you give them the money that they want, and then they'll give you help. And so I don't remember this, but I was told in the morning that by my friend who was with me, that they asked me, they go, "Are you okay to sign this?" And apparently in my unconscious state, I was like, yeah, like, yeah, I could sign that. And they made me sign a bill for $1,200. $1,200. They made me sign a bill for $1,200 while I was unconscious in this hospital after I had passed out, and they refused to give me water, and then decided to draw my blood and then maybe black out again and then shove me in a metal bench for 6 hours. I had to pay $1,200. I don't know about you, but that sounds like the f***ing scam of the century. Like, why is it that much? They didn't even know what they were gonna do. Like, they just had to take my blood for like blood test, and like they just were like, yep, 1,200. Like, I don't know how that works, but like I don't think it's supposed to do that, and like I don't know. I think they like bill you after they like figure out what's wrong with you, and they're like, hey, you need this, so like we're gonna bill you this, and like not like, hey, if you even want help, you need to pay us $1,200. And so I handed over my credit card, blacked out, and paid them the money. Yeah. So I'm sitting on this metal bench that Lauren or someone figured out how to like lower it into like kind of a bed, but it was still like rock ass hard and like uncomfortable, and I was like shaking, and like nobody came to check in, and my friend just sat there with me for the entire time, and like every hour she was like how many people we were behind, because there was no doctors, I guess, to help, because I guess all the doctors that were like of this hospital were in like a different section of it, helping all of the people who had were ill from the festival, because they knew that the festival was coming. They like got a bunch of doctors to like help all the people who were like dying at the festival. And then because I came into the like ER not from the festival, just like going to the ER, I was just put in like the general hospital thing, I guess, and like there was no doctors over there. So there was one doctor, and so it took 6 hours of me going from a metal bench to the sink, vomiting, and just being like delirious. And so finally someone comes in at, I think it was like 6:30 in the morning, and we got there at like midnight. I started throwing up at like 11, and we got there at like midnight. Yeah. So at like 6:30 in the morning, somebody like came in, and they're like, okay, yeah, we're gonna give you an IV. We're gonna give you like 2 IVs and some anti-nausea medicine, and then like you'll be fine. And then like if they see anything in your blood test, like we'll go from there. And I was like, okay, well there shouldn't be anything in my blood test because I'm not on anything unless I got drugged. So that was like a possibility, but like I really did not think anything was gonna show up. I just wanted some help because I was dying. And so I was shivering cold, and she just comes in and she jams the IV in my arm. The bruise is huge now, and it took 2 hours like for the IV, and then like they gave me the anti-nausea medicine, and then we left at 8:30 in the morning. Yeah, 8:30 in the morning. So I just like I don't understand like the Canadian healthcare system. What is going on? Like and they didn't even tell me what was wrong with me. They just gave me stuff and told me to like get out. So I still don't know really what happened. I'm leaning towards like I had nicotine poisoning potentially, but also like I could have gotten weird food poisoning. I don't really know. I've never passed out before. That being said, I've never passed out before, and I did like twice within like a couple minutes, and they were like, whoops. What are you gonna do? Like, I just like, what the f? The whole thing was just a big what the f. If I was like actually like legitimately like dying, thank the Lord I had like tap water from a styrofoam cup that my friend found, but like, I don't know, dude. Like, just doesn't add up. I now have a bill of $1,200 because Canada hates me. And then I, back in December, was also like the most sick I've ever been. And I'm not just like saying that for every time I get sick, but like both these times I had to go to the hospital because it was so bad. And like, I'm not gonna get into it. That one's not that like intense. I just was really, really, really sick. And they, again, took all these tests, had no idea what was wrong with me. I had a photo from back in December when I went to the hospital of me getting my IV that I took to be like, oh, I'm in the hospital. And I'm in this weird shirt, and the shirt like is just this dumb shirt that I got off of like Etsy. And I noticed then in the photo that my mom took when I got back from Canada and I'm asleep on the couch in the same clothes that I had been in the hospital in, I'm wearing the same shirt. The same weird shirt that I got from Etsy. That's weird, right? Like that's really weird because like this little weird shirt that I bought off of like Etsy that's just like a cartoon character. Both times I wore it, I like mysteriously ended up in the hospital within the past couple months. And they don't know what was wrong with me, but I needed to go to the hospital. So I don't think I'm wearing that shirt anymore, like ever again. Some sus shit, yeah. So that's what happened to me. That's the story I wanted to tell. Canadian healthcare, I'm sorry if you're from Canada, but like holy f, like y'all nearly took my life, I feel like. I don't know if I'm being dramatic, but like in the moment, I literally thought I was going to die. Like I was like, this is it. Where's my will? I need to start writing it now. Like there is no, like this is where it ends. Like I die in a foreign country in Canada and it's not even a like foreign ass country. Like it's just Canada. Like honestly, I've been very heated. Like very heated the more I think about like how I was treated at this hospital. Like I have some words to say to you, but hope you guys enjoyed listening to what the f happened to me. I hope this never ever happens again, and I really hope I don't continue the streak of ending up in the hospital for weird shit and then them telling me they have no idea what the hell's wrong with me and then going home. If you guys like this story time, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. I actually have a lot of story times right now. My life has been kind of like all over the place, so yeah, and you guys obviously seem to like my stories, so if you want more of them, just let me know. I'm probably gonna do it anyway because it's good content. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you have not. If you're new here from this video, check my channel out. I have some cool stuff sometimes. But other than that, I will see you guys next week.